Hi, welcome to the market alert for Thursday, the 6th of November 2025. So stocks and gold jump, bonds dumped as Bitcoin bounces bigly off bear market lows. US stocks rebound amid stronger than expected ADP and ISM services. And dollar paused following a 5-day rally despite the firm data. I'll come back to that in a moment. US household debt hits a record 18.6 trillion as student loan defaults and explode. And OpenAI CFO seeks government backing. Disappointed market doesn't have more AI exuberance. Yeah, it's all starting to get a bit top heavy in the AI market, isn't it? It's reminiscent of the dot-com bubble of 2000. Big short 2.0, Deutsche Bank reportedly starts shorting AI stocks to hedge data center funding risks. So Michael Burry, who was the genius behind the great financial crisis of 2008 when he played a massive bet with the mortgage fraud, is now shorting the AI stocks, but take it with a pinch of salt because he's done a few of these in the last few years that haven't paid off. Doesn't mean to say it will, but this one's probably got more chance than the other ones given the fact that all the focus is on AI, getting money into AI, and certainly the massive valuations. Economic news for today. Well, what have we got? We're in the UK today. Interest rates to stay the same. Rachel from accounts will be disappointed about that, but we'll just have to see. And then Bailey's going to speak after, and then FOMC member Waller is also going to speak, but that's not until 8:30 p.m. So today, Bank of England report. He's got one at midday there as well. So and then out at 12:30 as well, speaking once again. So rates to remain unchanged for the UK. Right, so let's have a look at the markets and kick off with the Dow. So in the Dow yesterday we managed to move to the upside. We had the demand the day before. Yesterday we see the volume follow through, but overnight the market doesn't like the 5-bar moving average in the daily chart, and it looks like it's coming back to retest. So yesterday again very quiet in the pre-market session, the cash market up, then retesting the low to the left or within a cat's whisker of it, before prices then move back to the upside and then below the 200 MA at the moment, but sitting at the DP to try and find some support there. Meanwhile, in the German DAX, this up off the 200 MA yesterday, straight up, which is good news for the DAX. Does it still want to accelerate and play catch up to the all-time high? There's every chance given the fact that the FT100, which we'll look at in just a moment, made another all-time high during yesterday's trading session. That will also please Rachel from accounts. So yesterday the German DAX sideways for most of the morning, then moving higher in the afternoon, but overnight the market back to the 200 MA and the 50 MA, where the market saw a bit of climatic volume and is now moving back towards yesterday's high. Meanwhile, in the S&P 500, this moving high yesterday, the again AI and technology stocks, the Mag 7, moving prices to the upside or supporting prices. However, overnight, and if you look closely, you'll see the last 3 days the market's not had the momentum to actually close above the previous day's high. So starting to look slightly weakish there and still sitting at that 50% retracement. However, yesterday, again, we came close to the 78% retracement of this recent swing high low, and the market showing the buying volume coming in there to support it. So it's crucial that the market holds above the 50 and certainly the 200 MA during today's trading session. So just like the Dow, the market was sideways, and then we've got the cash market opening where prices rallied all the way up to the 200 MA and stopped and then reversed. And currently, again, bit of climatic volume, stopping volume there at the DP level. So prices just moving back there. And as I just mentioned, the FT making a new all-time high. I say Rachel's going to be thrilled about this. It is utterly bonkers that this market is making new all-time highs, given the backdrop of the economy starting to fail. What's coming in the taxes are coming in the budget. Maybe this is to give it a bit of loftiness before it drops it'll have less height to fall if they keep moving the market to the upside. But the market is obviously thrilled with what Rachel intends to do from a press conference on Tuesday morning. It's just absolute madness. 30-minute chart, we were out of the off the blocks, and that's the way it stayed all day yesterday. A bit of profit taking overnight, but all we need to do is to get back above the close, and then we can make another new all-time high. So as was mentioned in the headlines, the US dollar coming off a bit for yesterday when it reached the high of 103.60. Well, looking at the overnight repo, you'll see this has come all the way back down now. So given that's the case, I would say that the dollar rally over the last few days was tied in with this. And there was a concern, obviously, with the banking institutions that there was an issue, but that seems to have disappeared now. We started off small and then we had the spike, and now we're coming back down. So again, the dollar being able to breathe a sigh of relief there. So let's have a look at the metals prices. Oh, actually, let me just show you the dollar. Yeah, we've already looked at that. Yeah. It's still early at the moment. So yeah, we've got the dollar starting to make its way back, which is a positive note for the metals. So let's take a look at those. So in the metals, and kicking off with silver, we can see that we're trying to move above yesterday's high. Let's just look at that in a bit more detail. So we're at yesterday's high, and it's starting to look a bit precarious there, to say the least. We've got some selling coming in. We tried with some buying in Asia, but now we're coming back. It needs to stay above that 200 MA. If it doesn't, then we're making our way back down to the DP where we saw the other buying coming into the market. In the gold market, it too trying to move higher, but it's nowhere near taking out yesterday's high convincingly, and you can see why, because the 200 MA is right on the high there in the 30 minutes, so starting to come back again. It will have to hold, otherwise we're going to see a retest of the DP here as well, where selling came in, then it disappeared, and prices moving back, so we've got to watch that. Quick look at the gold silver ratio, and once more this is starting to try and make its way back, but don't be fooled, because we can have a retracement that pulls back slightly and then heads back to the upside. Particularly if the acceleration in any sort of sell-off in the AI sector would certainly have an impact on the silver market for sure, because obviously silver's used in electronic products, and they'll say, oh, we don't need as much now. Any excuse for them to actually slam the price. So again, we're not out of the woods by any means. Until we're back above $50 an ounce, for me, the market's going lower. So let's have a look at yesterday's trades. So in the pre-market session yesterday, the market moving to the close, failing there, and then moving back, and then we got into the cash market with some volatility to the downside, which you can see there, climatic volume as well, as prices reversed and closed back above the 200 MA. Prices then showed a signal which moved higher and then pulled back, giving a sell signal. So now we're into the realms of trying to hold on a pullback there, and the market does at the 200 MA, and then we get another buying opportunity to the upside, which this time we see the market break out. So there's a classic retracement there, and also the 200 MA. We need to get back above the 200 MA, get this spike in volume there, despite the fact that it's not highlighted here as green or red. It's just the way the price action is there. But at the 200 MA, then price is moving back. We then have a retracement, but this time it fails, as you'll see in just a moment. So that failed, and then the short side took over before we had another buying opportunity to the upside. But this too stalling at the 200 MA, as prices then reversed once more off this. So let's move over to the afternoon. Nice move in the mid-morning there, the market trending nicely with the US futures, and then we get into the US cash markets with prices continuing just to move to the upside. Shame no signal, but that's because we were green before the 230 opening there. So once again, we head up to the high. The market stops at the high and then makes its way back down with the signal there, as you'll see, and prices moving down about 70 or 80 points before we then get a support coming in, and price is attempting to run back to the high there towards the R1. So where are we overnight? Let's just have a quick look. We're coming off the BRN there. We're above the 200 MA. We're not far off yesterday's high and close as well. So hopefully there'll be some momentum to the upside before we get an announcement from the Bank of England at 12:30. See what happens then. Right, that's it for this one. As ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.